Hey guys, gwyned back, doing standard Pauper Deck-Tech. I'm looking at my Delver deck that I played in MPDC 15-1. I won the first game, and this is the second game, playing against a white-blue control deck, or kind of mid-range, I guess. Has some aggressive creatures, but also has some control elements in it as well. So let's see what my opener is. That's definitely a keep. It'd be nice if I had a second island for the Aether Adepts, but should be able to draw into that. Manic Vandal could prove to be useful against some of those artifacts. And we're off. Opponent starts off excuse me, with a turn 1 Delver Secrets, which is certainly the best time for that. Go ahead and play out the mountain. Hopefully I can draw into another burn spell. Opponent misses here, which certainly is nice. Much better to take one than to take more than that. Opponent doesn't have a turn 2 play. And then here, obviously, just going to play out the island and hope I can catch him with Mana Leak. Opponent misses for a second time. Plays out a Doomed Traveler. He's got enough creatures and other spells in here that, I'm sorry, other creatures and the like. I'm not sure what his odds are of hitting Delver. Probably not as high as mine, but without knowing his exact list, obviously, I'm not sure. And other than that, doesn't have a play. Could have Mana Leaked the Doomed Traveler. I think I actually F6 through it. Probably would have had I been given the chance. So here, miss on an island, do draw land. Could play the Shimmering Grotto, but obviously would need an extra mana to be able to convert it to that second blue that I need. Do go ahead and play it. Doesn't really make a difference here. And let's see. Opponent misses for a third time in a row. Pretty unusual. Pretty unlucky for him, I would say. And then swings in for 2. And once again has no other play. Probably assumes I have Mana Leak in hand, and he would be correct. So here I can go ahead and have several options. I do go ahead and just bounce the Delver of Secrets. Could have very easily gone ahead and played out the Aether Adept instead. I think my thinking was that he might have had a counterspell here. I'm not sure if he's actually playing Cancel or Psychic Barrier, but if he was, that plays around it. Also could have played Chandra's Outrage there, which again might have been a better choice. I don't think I'm not obviously doing anything else with my mana, so actually I think that's a mistake. It would have definitely been better to play out Chandra's Outrage or the Aether Adept. Either way would use my mana much more efficiently. Now, the advantage of this is I do still leave out Mana Leak, and because it doesn't look like I have blue up, it might disguise it. So, oh, instead I just play out Manic Vandal. That probably should have held that in hand, to be honest. Not sure. I don't think I was playing my best this particular game. And draw yet another mountain. And then here, looks like now I'm going to go ahead and play out the Aether Adept. And bounce, once again, bounce the Delver. And that'll allow me, either way, I guess I could have swung in for the damage, but definitely swing in there. And my opponent finds the Porcelain Legionnaire and returns the Delver. Obviously here I'm going to go ahead and block the Doomed Traveler. Since it doesn't cost me a creature, it doesn't make a big difference. I don't mind giving him the flyer, particularly since this turn I can now go ahead and bounce it back into his hand. And it looks like I'm going to do so. Oh, okay, yeah, right, with the Aether Adept. I could also have done it with Silent Departure, but this way it leaves up the 2 red mana that I can incinerate should I decide to do so. And it looks like I'm just going to go ahead and do that now on the Porcelain Legionnaire. Makes sense since I can't block it. And that allows me as well to go ahead and swing in here. So that was probably a good play. You know, anytime really what you're looking to do here is use your burn spells to enable more damage, or in a lesser case, prevent damage to yourself. But certainly there, although I lose doing 3 damage to my opponent directly, by taking out the Porcelain Legionnaire, it allows me to do 4 damage to my creature. So obviously that's a good trade. Opponent still has not hit on a Delver all game. Very unfortunate on his part. And so here's where playing out that Manic Vandal kind of comes back, because I can't do anything about the Delver of Secrets. I'm not sure really if attacking there was what he wanted to do. Even though he'll get a little bit of life, I'm happy to go ahead and trade off the Aether Adept here. Although in retrospect, maybe just taking the 2 damage would have been better. Obviously, I'm in no danger of dying, and giving him the extra life really could come back to hurt me pretty badly. But that's what I did. Find a Brimstone Volley here. And see, this is why it might have been better to use that Chandra's Outrage before, because now I'm stuck with it in my hand and I can't play it. So here, just go ahead and attack for 4 and pass the turn back. My opponent is able to get his first Stitched Drake out. Here I'm going to go ahead and use Mana Leak just to force him to go ahead and spend all his mana, and that way next turn I know I can get off Chandra's Outrage, and hopefully if I draw another land I'll be able to Brimstone Volley as well. And he just negates it instead of paying the 3, which does allow him to go ahead and equip Sylvic Lifestaff, which is, you know, probably worth it. And here I very foolishly think I'm Chandra outraging it before it's cast. Yeah, definitely not playing my best in this game, but it's still, I think it's still worth watching. Showcases the deck pretty well, even if my play's a little loose. So I go ahead and destroy it there before he can Sylvic Lifestaff it, and he actually has Stave Off, which again, I probably should have waited for him to cast the Lifestaff before trying it, so I'll lose the opportunity there. So definitely not playing my best here. And draw into another land. Probably the play here is to go ahead and use Silent Departure. Let's see if I see that. Looks like I don't. Instead, I am just going to go ahead and plan on trading a creature off and then using Brimstone Volley. It's 2 for 1. Bouncing it probably would have been a better choice, but oh, interesting. I just go ahead and use the Brimstone Volley on my opponent because I lost the creature, hit for 2. Okay, I guess I can see how that has some validity, but I think using Silent Departure there would have been better. But can certainly bounce it later. Finds another Doomed Traveler, and here he presumably will swing in for 2. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, for 4. And he will also drop another Stitch Drake. And now suddenly the board has shifted considerably, even though he's down at 6 life. 2 Stitch Drakes is going to take care of my life total pretty quickly. And just draw an island. Obviously here I'm going to go ahead and use flashback my Silent Departure, get rid of that. But I won't be able to do it again. And because he found the second Stitch Drake, I am unable to get it out. My opponent finds another Ponder, chooses not to shuffle, and replays the Stitch Drake. And here, I'm not sure if I block or not. I decide not to. That probably makes sense. If I draw, I would basically, yeah, I don't think there's anything I could do. I was going to say if I drew 2 burn spells, but even that, I don't have time to draw 2. So draw yet another land, and at this point, it's over, and I go ahead and concede from the game. So that was game 2, probably the worst of the 3 that I played, but continues to showcase the deck pretty well. So I will be back in a minute for game 3.